Question: what is your greatest video game related accomplishment? You're witnessing mine right now. I recently hit 1 million Gamerscore. I understand to the casual video game player that must just sound like an absolute insane number. And to us hardcore achievement hunters, I do know reality is 1 million is not what it used to be. But you know what? Let me enjoy this. Please, let me have my fun. This is Brian with the Collecti-Bros podcast, and I thank you for joining me in this video as we look back on my road to 1 million Gamerscore. Let's just start with the very basics. What is an Xbox achievement? In the year 2005, Xbox introduced the gaming industry to the concept of an achievement. It's a system-wide mechanism for directing and rewarding players' in-game actions consistently across all games. If you're a PlayStation player, you'll know them as trophies. If you're a Steam player, they're achievements as well. One of the ideas that separates Microsoft's Gamerscore concept from other achievement or trophy tracking systems is the idea that every individual achievement has a numerical value. As a result, when you unlock an achievement, your Gamerscore will increase as well. With the original launch Xbox 360, games that were on a disc were worth 1,000 Gamerscore. And originally, Xbox Live Arcade games, no matter the size, were worth 200 Gamerscore. You have to remember that this was a time before digital games were a full-blown concept. Yes, we did get that in the later life cycle of the Xbox 360. However, it did not matter what the game was. If it was a digital download initially, it was worth 200 Gamerscore. This is why you have instances where the arcade port of Frogger's worth 200 Gamerscore, but then you also have the download version of Castlevania Symphony of the Night that's worth 200 Gamerscore. Microsoft later realized this wasn't completely fair and eventually bumped up larger downloadable games to 400 Gamerscore. By the time that the Xbox One rolled around, every single game, no matter what, was worth 1,000 Gamerscore, and this is where we are currently. There are a few exceptions. Developers may add DLC that adds, 250 to 500 Gamerscore, or there might be title updates that the devs randomly add 1,000 Gamerscore to games. That's why you see some of these games have 5,000 Gamerscore. Well, now that you understand what Gamerscore is, what do Gamerscore and achievements actually do? Insert the Willy Wonka meme. Nothing! You get nothing! Yeah, it's kind of crazy. In all reality, they actually don't do a goddamn thing. So why do people go after achievements? I'm not the ambassador for achievements, so I can't speak for everybody that goes for them. But for me personally, it's kind of overachieving a game, right? You're surpassing 100% completion when you get all the achievements on top of that. When it was first introduced, I thought it was a fun new concept to kind of expand your gameplay of a particular game. And obviously I'm still doing it today. It got its hooks in me. There is a whole community of gamers that have aligned themselves with my thought process regarding achievements and Gamerscore. If you ever want to go down the rabbit hole, I implore you to check out trueachievements.com. This isn't like a sponsored video or anything. I just really appreciate what they do for the Gamerscore community. One of the really cool things that True Achievements does is that they reconfigure your Gamerscore into a new value called True Achievement Score. Your True Achievement Score compares how many people have an achievement versus how many people have played that game. That ratio is then multiplied by the original Gamerscore value of the achievement to get your True Achievement Score. The reason why this is so cool is because not all achievements are treated equally. Do you remember how earlier I stated every achievement's given a numerical value? There's no real guidelines for this as far as the developers are concerned, and that's why you run into crazy scenarios. For example, there's a 5-point achievement in The Simpsons the Movie game for just pushing the start button to start the game. There's also a 5-point achievement in Ninja Gaiden 2 for completing the whole game using only the Lunar Staff. Do both of those achievements seem like they should be worth the same numerical value? I think not. And that in a nutshell is why True Achievements is awesome. True Achievements also does really cool things like the ability to set up a boosting session. Let's say you have a game and it's got multiplayer achievements and there's literally nobody on the face of the earth still playing this game. Let's just use Hour of Victory as an example. Does anybody remember Hour of Victory? No? You have two options. You could sit there and wait for people to potentially join your Hour of Victory game, Or you can go to trueachievements.com and request a boosting session on this date and this time and try to get enough people to join, and maybe you can get the achievements together. It's really helpful for situations like this, where if you want to get every achievement in Hour of Victory or whatever game that there's just not a lot of activity for in the multiplayer front, this is the perfect way to get that 1000 gamer score in that game. In this regard in particular, True Achievements was a huge part of my 1 million gamer score journey. They helped me get so many games done that I wouldn't get done without the help of this community. TrueAchievements.com does a bunch of other cool things. Like, let's pull up a random game. This piece of shit here, Blacksmith Forger. Let's pretend like you didn't know anything about this game, which you probably don't because it's a piece of shit. But yeah, we want to look at how do we get the achievements for this game. We have a complete list of all achievements, and then we have some guides for individual achievements. There's also forums and walkthroughs in case you get stuck. TrueAchievements.com also has leaderboards and in-depth stats if you're into that sort of thing. I'm kind of a numerical and stat nerd, so I think all this shit's pretty cool. There's also leaderboards based on, quote, your best games based on their true achievement values. But honestly, this data is a little skewed. As you can see from my top 10, Evolve was a game with gold, so I understand a bunch of people play it. I can get why it's up there. But it's definitely more difficult than Kick It Bunny, which is barely behind it. Kick It Bunny's only high because they added 4,000 updated gamer score. There's just no way in hell that you can convince me that completing Max Payne 3 on the hardest difficulty while timed, while performing a disc swap, is less difficult than Kick It Bunny. And this is one example of a flaw of the True Achievement system. Yes, Kick It Bunny is worth more True Achievement because it has more gamer score, not necessarily because it's more difficult. Is True Achievement score a perfect system? Well, no, there's plenty of examples like this. But I do think it's a good idea. Not maybe the best execution, but overall, I think it gets most things right, especially in the 360 era. Xbox One era, where everything's worth 1,000 gamer scores, where things get kind of hairy. Let's go over some individual accolades of my gamer card. It looks like my first recorded achievement was for Battlestar Galactica for Caprica Survivor, successfully complete boot camp, worth 5 gamer score, unlocked on 12th of June 2008. This is slightly misleading, as there was a point in time where your console didn't have to be connected to the internet 24/7, and the 360 was like that. So I do have a couple of games I played offline, but this is the first one with a date and timestamp. This is also misleading because I had a previous account that I first started getting gamerscore on. Unfortunately, that account was stolen, and yeah, I lost 36,000 gamerscore. That was the account that I actually had since the original Xbox days, so it's slightly heartbreaking. I'm still salty about it. According to True Achievements, my best individual achievement is 1047 for Slipgate. That's winning 1,047 matches. It's got an insane 18.81 ratio, and I'm assuming because it's a free-to-play game, a lot of people played it, and a lot of people did not get that achievement. Yeah, if you look here, 177,169 people played it that are registered to the True Achievements website, and only 535 people completed it, so that's 0%. Yeah, that's nuts. I don't think that achievement's necessarily difficult. Time consuming, sure, but I'm honestly more proud of the whole shebang from NBA 2K12, which is basically the platinum trophy for getting every achievement, and then the Shadows Rush Me on Max Payne 3 is probably my most proud achievement. That's beating it on the hardest difficulty while timed. It's a 10-point achievement with 139 True Achievement score. Unfortunately, there was an exploit that was eventually used to unlock this more often, but yeah, I did it the hard way, so eat that. Out of 153,002 people that have played it, only 404 people have the Shadows Rush Me achievement, so I'm in pretty good company. And looking back on the whole shebang from NBA 2K12, only 190 people have completed this game, and y'all know how big 2K is, so that's pretty sick. And with the servers being shut down for that game and having unattainable achievements, it's gonna stay at that number, so that's pretty cool. Here's a random factoid. NFL Blitz, the downloadable version when they tried to relaunch this franchise, I was the 6th person in the world to get every achievement in this game. And for the record, I don't want this to sound like I'm bragging or boasting, like, I just do this for fun, this is one of my hobbies. Nobody likes a bragger and a boaster, myself included. But these are just cold hard facts, baby. Alright, let's humble myself here. For the overall site leaderboard, I am 2,152 out of 1,120,357 gamers. Remember how I said a million ain't shit anymore at the beginning of the video? I'm still honestly pretty proud where I'm at. I have a full-time job, I have a family, I have other hobbies, this podcast. I do a lot, but I still play a lot of games, and hats off to the people that are ahead of me. I understand the amount of dedication it takes to get there. I mean, getting to where I'm at took me 17 years to put that into perspective. My current completion percentage is 72.5%, and that's including the DLC that I own for games. It used to be much higher. I think it was around 86% at one point. But honestly, with all the server closures and everything, I'm at the point where I try to get achievements that are going to be no longer obtainable in the future. And maybe someday I'll go back and complete some of those games, but the completion percentage is not as important as it once was to me. I have 701 total games that are 100% Gamerscore completed. Looks like 325 of those are for Xbox One, 20 of those are for Xbox Series XS, 283 on the Xbox 360, 48 for Windows, 24 for Windows Phone, and 1 game for Windows Live. Looks like I have a total of 1,120 games that I have played that contain Gamerscore, which is also misleading. Sometimes I play games that get footage for the podcast, and you might unlock one achievement or something, but hey, we'll get back in there and clean it up someday, right? It looks like I've unlocked a total of 27,591 achievements. As of this video, I'm sitting at 1,035,943 Gamerscore, with a true achievement score of 1,696,814. Not a bad ratio. So now that the numbers are out of the way, let's talk about the journey itself to 1 million. In the year 2005, when the Xbox 360 came out, I was younger. I was in high school, along with my twin brother Nate. Obviously, both of us were into video games, and it was awesome having a full-time co-op partner. I remember playing Halo 3 and Gears of War split screen constantly. It was some of the best times of my life for co-op gaming. But you also have to remember we were both in high school at the time, and we were both former athletes that played sports year-round. And we hung out with our friends and hung out with our girlfriends at the time. I don't think Gamerscore was the most important things in our life. But after high school, it was time for Nate and I to move out and get our own place. So we got our own apartment, and this is honestly the period where our Gamerscore just absolutely flourished. At one point during this time period, we had the ultimate Gamerscore setup where one of us was working days and one of us was working nights, and we had Gamefly with like 3 discs coming through the mail. So we just had games coming in constantly, and we'd sit there and be like, hey, I'll play this game when you're at work, you play this one when you get back. So the Xbox was on all day, all night, and we were getting Gamerscore. This was like the peak of our prowess for Gamerscore. It's really funny just recalling that particular time in my life where you're a young adult on your own, and you're trying to figure out life, you're trying to get a better job, make more money, and I was in school at the time, and trying to figure things out and just like blocking out your literal starvation, your literal stress from paying bills and stuff with the ability to earn Gamerscore to mask all that. It sounds nuts, but it was like literally one of the highlights of my life in a weird way, where it kind of made me the person I am today in more ways than one. Like, it taught me patience, it taught me to get your shit together and, get a better job and find a partner and be a stable human being. But also it led to one of my favorite hobbies, which is hunting for Gamerscore. A couple years into this cycle, and Nate got to the point in his life where he was in a serious enough relationship where he was going to live with his girlfriend at the time. And this brought to the really important thing of what we're going to do with the Xbox account. And hats off to my big brother. He was the adult of this situation where he was like, you can have it, bro. Like, I can play Xbox 360 on it every once in a while. I'll obviously still be your co-op partner to go for stuff. I can help as a second account, boost Gamerscore, but you keep it on your Xbox, basically. So to sit here and say exclusively that this is my Xbox account is not 100% fair at all. Nate was an extremely important part, especially early on when we were both constantly playing this account to get to our 1 million Gamerscore. But even now, still, Nate will sit there and boost these games with me, and he doesn't even want the achievements in return. So, Nate, I can't thank you enough for, helping us get here. This accomplishment's not mine alone. Nate's just as big as a contributor to this gamer score as I am. And I just can't thank you enough, man, for being my brother, being a part of this with me. Like, those times we share, especially early on, having our own place, man, will always be one of the most special parts of my life. Honestly mean that. Honestly, just the memories of growing up together and becoming adults together, man, and seeing that correlate through the gamer card. If I start at the bottom of this gamer card and go through it and just recalling all the fun times we had playing specific games. For example, I was flipping through it for this video and I saw Michael Phelps Connect. I'll never forget when you came home and I'm sitting there just swimming in front of the Connect of the apartment and you're just like, what the fuck are you playing? Like, just stupid, funny shit like that, man. It's going to stick with me for the rest of my life. But yeah, obviously we're still getting gamerscore at this point. And here we are this year, 2025. And we're close to 1 million gamerscore. So my first thought process was like, Nate needs to be a part of this. We need to play a co-op game just like old times once we cross 1 million. How special would that be? So I'm sitting here thinking like, let's see, do we play, the Gears of War remaster because we used to play that when we were kids in high school? Do we go through like Halo 2 on Legendary? Like, what do we do here? So then I'm like, oh, we haven't done the newest version of Doom and Doom 2. It's literally both of our favorite games of all time. Like, let's play Doom. Like, let's go through Doom on ultra violence, get the 1000 gamer score. It'll perfectly cross us over to 1 million. It'll be perfect. So we're playing. We get to the part where you go to hell and you die. We're supposed to get our first achievement for beating the first chapter of the game. And it turns out we don't get any achievements. Why is this, you ask? You cannot get achievements while playing co-op in this game. So there goes that dream. So I'm sitting here all distressed like, fuck, man, like, what are we gonna do, Nate? And this motherfucker, without any hesitation, just goes, let's just do Redfall. It'd be funny. And yeah, he's right. It would be extremely funny. So that's exactly what we tried to do. So we're playing Redfall. And, this game, we were talking amongst ourselves like, this game gets a bad rep. It's not that bad. Is it fun? No. Does it have issues? Yeah, like the world's dead. There's nothing going on. It's repetitive as shit. The characters are uninteresting. But it's not the worst thing I've ever played. It's just a co-op shooter. Whatever. We're popping achievements. Then we get to the halfway point in the game. And it's funny, there's not a lot of documentation about this, but this game just simply doesn't work in co-op at the halfway point. You basically switch to a different zone, and your partner's just stuck in an infinite loading glitch. So we're both sitting here kind of distraught, like, this is the second game we've tried to co-op that we're not going to be able to cross 1 million on. Like, the universe hates us right now. Fuck this broken-ass game. We gotta do something else. What are we gonna do? Part of being an achievement hunter is keeping an eye on the server closer games that are going to disable online services, and if there's achievements attached to those online services, these are the games we go for first. I keep a spreadsheet of said games, and I noticed that Need for Speed Rivals was the next game that online services are going to be discontinued on. So I said, hey Nate, we're literally 60 points away from 1 million gamerscore. Why don't we do Need for Speed Rivals, because we got to do it anyway, and there's literally 60 points of online achievements in this game. It's not a super epic game. It's not, a perfect, nice little story like a co-op game would have been, but it was the most practical, and I think we both were just so frustrated at this point. We're like, hey, this is it. Let's do it. And here it is. There's the footage again. 1 million gamer score. And yeah, me just staring at this screen. This isn't paused. This is all like real time where I was kind of like just soaking it in. I was in a party with Nate, and we were kind of like, yeah, bro, we did it, man. Like, after all these years, we finally fucking did it. Yeah, and go ahead, just ignore that 8 at the end of the 1 million. Some devs do, like, even gamer score numbers for some reason. I don't really know why. I guess it is, hey, achievement hunters, but it is what it is. But yeah, the whole time I was staring at this screen, I was literally just reminiscing good times of the journey, the voyage of 1 million gamer score. Getting gamer score with Nate. Hanging out with other achievement friends, just funny boosting sessions, meeting new people, just the voyage, man. That's literally what I thought about, and it was so nice. There are a certain group of people who just stop once they hit 1 million, where they, quote, retire from gamerscore hunting, but that can never be me. I'm full-blown addicted. I've got way too many of their friends I do this with. Like, this is not it for me at all. So what does this lead to next? Well, as I said, I'm not going to stop. If y'all want to go for achievements or boost with me, y'all see my gamer tag, shoot me an invite, say you saw this video or you listen to the podcast. I'll be glad to get achievements with anybody. Also, because I had such a great time reminiscing and I have plenty of stories and just hilarious scenarios, I think this is going to lead to a separate video series for the podcast. I don't know if I want to stream it or do individual videos, but I think it would be fun to go through my whole gamer card game by game and kind of go over some of the, hilarious stories. For example, I've got Wartech on the screen here where, yeah, you can see I unlocked achievements on Christmas, and that's a whole tale of itself. But there's so many instances like this. I think it would be a fun listen. Before we wrap this video up, I just want to do one final thank you lap. First of all, I got to thank Nate again, my co-op partner in crime. And then, later in life, just being so selfless and helping me get Gamerscore on this account while he doesn't expect anything in return. I got to thank all my Gamerscore homies, starting in the early days with like Script, Upcountry, Mets Fan, Peace, Boda, Irish. Thank you all. 360 days, man. We got BG Bone, AC. Honestly, this list goes on and on. Just thank you everybody in the Xbox One era. And then in more recent times, Dub, Fool, Death, the guys I've been running with recently. Thank you all. And even Sherry for, being a great partner. And yeah, she's helped get Gamerscore along the way too. She's the one that helped me get the last achievement involved. That was super tough, and that's my best TA game. So thanks, babe. And you support this hobby of mine, so I'm eternally thankful for that. Barry's helped with Gamerscore as well, but more importantly, she puts up with my bullshit. I know you want to play games for fun, Barry, but there's times where I'm like, oh, I gotta play this game because the servers are going down. So thank you for putting up with my bullshit. This list is just never ending. Just anybody that's helped me or played a game with me along the way, thank you. We'll end it there. If you guys have made it this far, I appreciate each and every one of you for listening. Please feel free to check out the channel for more video game related content. We do bi-weekly episodes for the podcast. We've got other short form videos on there. If you enjoyed this stuff, go ahead and push like, go ahead and push subscribe, all that shit. I know it's annoying, but it genuinely does help the channel out. And once again, thank you for listening. Stay oppressed, gamers. Batman Beyond, break that glass ceiling. Collecti-Bro Brian out.